Howdy folks, Tex Grebner here with Tex Grebner Outdoors. New videos every week, motivational Mondays, weird Wednesdays, and of course, your Tex Grebner Outdoors Saturday morning cartoon awesomeness. 3 chances to tune in every week, because it's dangerous to release too much of my awesomeness all at once. So if you don't want to miss out on anything, you better click subscribe and check that notification box. And I love reading your comments. I really do this for you guys. I already enjoy it, but I love bringing you along with me. So make sure to take time, give this video a like, and leave me a comment so that I know you was here. Now, I did promise you last week that there'd be a squirrel hunting episode coming up, and here you have it. I'm a man of my word. So I don't really know how well this is all gonna work out. I've got the old 410 fixed up. I got some shells in my pocket, and I'd say last hour of decent daylight, but it always gets darker when you get into the trees. So we're gonna see about going squirrel hunting. Maybe, maybe not. We're going squirrel hunting no matter what. Question is whether or not I'm actually gonna be able to get me a squirrel or even see one. I grew up hunting squirrels, so in a way this video is a bit of a homecoming for me. Granted, I haven't done nearly as much squirrel hunting as I would like in the past several years because I simply haven't had the time, and I've focused so much on hunting whitetail with a bow and arrow. But one thing that I like about squirrel hunting is you don't have to be particularly still, and you don't have to be particularly quiet. Because frankly, if there's a couple of things that I'm not very good at, it's sitting still and being quiet. So, every day of hunting is exactly the same, but every day of hunting is just a little bit different. And no matter what, I always know that I'm gonna have fun when I'm hunting squirrels. There's a strange wild beauty to watching the sun set through the trees, and as the sun goes down and the darkness comes in, there's always a contentment that comes along with knowing that you had hunted and being undiscouraged by lack of result, because that's truly the nature of hunting. My goal has never been to bring you the slaughter of majestic animals, but rather to tell you a hunting story. Oh, nothing tonight. If you take a good hard look at my right eye, you'll see that I've got some poison ivy up there on my eyebrow, right above my eyelid, which ain't no good, but it's an occupational hazard of being an outdoorsman. Got it on my arms, so I scratched my arms thinking that it was just a mosquito bite. Then my eye itched, so naturally I itched my eye, didn't think nothing of it, so now I've got it a whole bunch of places. And luckily I didn't get it in my eye, like I didn't get the oil in my tear duct, but yeah, that is mighty annoying, let me just tell you. I missed. Got one. Now, of course, I need to unload and get across the fence and go find him. We have success. Got the squirrel, but I had a hell of a time finding him in there. I never in my life thought I was going to have to blood trail a squirrel. But I've got one on the board, so we'll see what else I can come up with for today. So here I am field dressing this squirrel. And by God, there's one right over top of me. So here is what remains of the squirrel. It's been so long since I actually got a squirrel. I damn near forgot how to clean one. So this may be about it for the day. We'll see if I find anything on the way out. Well, it's getting pretty warm, and I don't think I'm going to see anything else, but I'm pretty sure the squirrels are going to be denning up for today. And it's also getting mighty thick where I found them at. So I figure I'm going to call it quits once I get to the top of the hill. I bet you never thought you'd want trekking poles hunting squirrel. I'm going to go soak my squirrel in some brine, get it cooled off. Finally got me a squirrel again. Overall, so far, it's been a pretty successful adventure. I actually came home with a squirrel for a change, which is saying something. Heading to get some poison ivy medication today, and I've had the squirrel soaking in some water to draw out the blood overnight. Finally, I get some wild game where I can actually do a catch and cook episode for you guys. So right now we're in the IGA and we're getting some French onion soup so that we can crock pot that squirrel. This is really simple. First of all, I've got 2 cans of French onion soup mix. Some people do it with cream of mushroom. I kind of like the French onion soup mix. So I'm just going to put these in the crock pot. Naturally. And also I want you to pay attention to how I've got this squirrel broken down. This is the front leg and the meat that I butterflied off the rib cage here. Because if you throw whole squirrels into here, it doesn't work out real well because the rib bones will detach off the spinal cord and you'll end up chewing on ribs. So this is the other front leg. Now because the squirrel was on an angle to me, I wasn't able to save much of the meat off of this front side of the rib cage. So I've got a little bit here, but he was pretty shot up on that side. I've got 1 shotgun pellet that I dug out of the leg and another shotgun pellet that I dug out of this leg. But this is the loins and back legs of the squirrel. And so this should cook up just dandy, submerged down in the crock pot just like that. So while I've got this squirrel simmering up, I figure I might as well give you a gear list video. This is a VanQuest bag here. It's kind of like a Maxpedition Remora gear slinger. It's got plenty of room in it if I'd got more than 1 squirrel. It's got pouches and pockets for days on it. And if you look close, it's covered in these burrs. I absolutely hate these burrs here. Hate them. They absolutely suck if you are hiking into your deer stand with your coverall leg zips open. So then you end up getting them on the inside. They'll grab onto your long underwear. And then let's say you put your long underwear on inside out the next time you wear them after you wash them. You've got many cockleburrs on the inside of your long underwear. And it is no kind of fun. I absolutely hate these burrs that I've got covering this. But it's an occupational hazard. But if you get cockleburrs on the inside of your long johns, you will be the first to know about it. But this little VanQuest bag here did an excellent job as kind of a possibles bag. And like I say, it's kind of like a Remora gear slinger by Maxpedition. By the way, I got this from John over at the Wingman 115 channel. Shout out to Scoutmaster John. But Western Field 410, and I'm honestly thinking about getting it drilled and tapped so that I can run a 2x7 scope on here. Why? I don't know. The range of a 410 isn't all that far. As you saw early on in the video, I actually missed a squirrel because while I'm pretty sure that this has a full choke in it, these number 6s just didn't make it past 25 yards. So normally I prefer to use number 4 shot, but all I had left over from messing around making sure this thing would cycle was number 6 shot. So 3-inch number 6 shot 410 Remington Express long range right there was what I was using. Like I say, I do prefer to use number 4, but number 6 will work. And Havline Barracuda Blaze is what I cleaned my squirrel with. I've been meaning to get another Havline Piranta. I lost it in the woods a couple of years ago and never got around to getting another one. The Barracuda Blaze is a little bit big to be cleaning squirrels with because it's much more of a boning and butchering knife, but it worked out just fine. Obviously, replaceable scalpel blades. You can, of course, resharpen these as well to get the most life out of them. But here you see, this is what I was taking into the woods with me, because everybody loves gear lists, even if it's super simple. The squirrel is done in the crock pot, and here is what's left of it. And so it has a real rich, wonderful, silky flavor from that French onion soup that we cooked it in. And this here is the backbone that I'm eating off of. I shouldn't say that it's all gone, but it's the only part that didn't fall apart is the back leg and the backbone here. And the reason that I actually say that I bone off the rib cage is because I can drink or spoon eat the French onion soup that's now flavored with the squirrel, as well as the squirrel that's flavored with the French onion soup. But with all those little tiny rib bones in there, if I hadn't boned off the ribs, it would just be nothing but trying to eat my way around a whole bunch of rib bones and trying not to choke on them. So here's one of the back legs, and it oops, there's a squirrel hair in there. Oh well, it's cooked. So I'm basically just pulling this off and eating it. It's got that real great silky flavor from that French onion soup mix. And the key to cooking wild game, in my opinion, is to complement the flavor that's already in the game meat rather than try and hide the flavor of the game meat. Kind of like how it seemed like the only way you could get people to eat wild game forever was just cooking it with bacon. Oh, bacon wrapped pheasant or venison bacon burgers or whatever. Now I don't mind bacon, but I feel that using the French onion soup mix on squirrel really complements the flavor of both items in the dish. It's a very simple recipe. So I'm back in the timber again. Gonna see if I can't get a couple more squirrels. But life ain't like the pornos, hunting ain't like the TV shows. It's a little bit warm this afternoon, so there might not be anything out. But I've also got to go pull some trail camera cards from my deer stand spots, because I haven't checked them in a while, so we'll see. Seems like it's a little bit warm tonight, so the squirrels are denned up. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to get anything or see anything, but at least we got one the other morning. So I pulled the card out of this camera, stuck it in my trail camera viewer, and so she's ready to go again. I'm going to have a look at those camera pictures in a little bit. Haven't seen a single squirrel out of the den tonight. Heading over to get my other trail camera card. But if you look behind me here, that's my bushcraft buck blind that I built. Well, I've got the card pulled out of this one. In Illinois for whitetail, we can't use bait or salt. With that being said, I believe in fair chase hunting, and there is no guarantee. If there was a guarantee, it wouldn't be worth doing it, and there wouldn't be any accomplishment. Now, I admit I'm a little bit disappointed in these trail camera pictures because I don't have any big buck activity to speak of, and the deer activity has been erratic at best over the past month of getting these pictures. But at least the trails are in fact being used. Now I want to take a chance to thank all of you guys that have been with me over these many empty seasons. So for one reason or another, it seems as though my trail camera activities kind of died off, which doesn't make me very happy, but there's not much I can do about it. And it's a mighty good thing I got that squirrel when I did, because I haven't had any luck tonight. But I figured, what the hell, might as well go for a epic episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching. As always, God bless all my sportsmen of America. Join the Annorator Protector Rights. Please check out my friends over at SOETacticalGear.com. Thank you very much to those of you involved in law enforcement and those of you serving in the military. And thanks for watching Tex Grebner Outdoors.